Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to be here today for Live from NCCE. Happy that you are here to join us, whether you're joining us live or you're joining us on the recording, because after all, PD can be at any time. That's why we record these sessions. I'm thrilled to be here today with my wonderful friend, Kristen Brooks. Kristen is she's held numerous roles in the Cherokee County District, School District in the great state of Georgia. Right now, you're a technology specialist, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. And I'm super excited because she's going to be talking about creating more than we consume. And we consume a lot, Kristen. So I don't know. Can I handle all that creation? I'm anxious to find out.
Absolutely. You can totally handle all of that creation. So first, I want to start off with just thanking Tammy for having me on here. Yes, we've been friends for years. We are both professional learning specialists with NCCE, and we have had some great times. I will say that I have a little story that the first time that I met Tammy in person, it was at an NCCE event, and my good friend Sandy Adams, shout out to Sandy Adams, had invited me, and I was, she was saving me a seat. And when I walked in, I was like, it's next to Tammy Dunbar. Oh, I don't know if I'm worthy to sit in that seat. But then I met you and I was like, oh my gosh, you're so much like the person that everybody thinks that you are before they meet you. Just super nice and kind and humble, and just you welcomed me in. And I think by the end of the day, we were sharing snacks or something. So
yes, we were. And I see Sandy is on the line. So Sandy, you are such a Sandy. I don't even know the number of how many MIA experts she created or helped nurture there in Georgia. But Sandy's like a legend. And so both you and I are in the mutual Sandy Adams fan club. But Kristen, create more than you consume.
Yes.
Tell us.
Yes, so here we go. Let's get started with creating more than you consume. Like Tammy said, I am a technology specialist. I am at Indian Knoll Elementary School, so shout out to all my Indian Knoll peeps. Yay! I work daily with kindergarten through fifth grade, and I basically try to teach them to create more than they consume. And we have a great time in the tech lab, and I see about 850 kids a week. So it is doable. And I see kindergarten through fifth. I have worked with all ages in my district, including teachers. And it's just really fun when you can encourage someone to create more than they consume, because we do consume a lot. And I'm going to give you some information about why I think it's better to create more than you consume. And I'm also going to tell you my top 5 creation tools. So get a pen and paper and get ready to maybe take some notes, or you can use your device to take some notes. Let's connect. I love meeting other educators. So this is literally all of my contact information. If you do not want to write things down, I have QR codes throughout this presentation, so you're welcome to just scan those. That one right there is going to take you to my link tree, which will give you all of these links there. So yeah, I am excited to be here. Thank you, NCCE, for having me. And it's just fun to be with all of these educators. So let's get rolling. So if you think about creating more than you consume, why would you think that it is important in today's classroom to create more than you consume? I'm going to give you some of my ideas, and I would love for you, like I said, to connect and just continue this conversation. So if you are a Twitter or another social media user, you could put your answer out on social media with the hashtag IamNCCE, and you can tag me in your post at Kristen Brooks 77. If you are not a social media person, or you're just tired after a long day of teaching school, just like I am, you could just put your answer in the chat. I would love to see those answers. And again, this is a discussion. So if you have questions, please put those in there. And I just like to see what everybody's thoughts are, not just my thoughts. So thanks so much. Why do you think it is important in today's classroom to create more than you consume? So thinking about creating and creation, the definition of that is to bring it into existence. And that means you're starting with pieces of something and you are putting them together, it is going to be a new project, a new item when it is done. So really kind of digging down into that definition and what that would mean to students. This is always how I start my year out, is just discussing with them why I think it is important to create, and that yes, consumption is important, that we need the information, but then we need to be able to create something with that information. I also talk to them about, if you can teach any piece of information, any little tidbit, one sentence to your neighbor next door, then you understand that concept. So helping each other create, helping each other come up with ideas, these are all important into a creation process. So creating, here are just some of my important reasons that I kind of keep in the back of my mind as to why I do what I do every day. Creating helps to develop a growth mindset. So just growing your mind and getting out of your everyday and just doing simple things to do that. Creating is a simple way of doing that. So even if that for you might be you enjoy making a meal at some point in the day, that's not me, but it might be you. Or maybe you just enjoy, going onto your device, or maybe you have a sketchbook that you like to go in and just sketch something and create something new. Any type of creation is a creation. So I've had this discussion, especially with my fifth graders, and they'll throw out things. Is that a creation? If you are making something brand new, it is a creation. So it also, I've seen it day in and day out. It builds it builds confidence and self-esteem in all of my learners. And it also enhances their creative abilities and their just natural problem solving abilities, that they're trying to figure something out, but in a fun way. I personally feel like we're supposed to have fun in school. And if you can do that by creating, there you have it. So it just makes my heart excited and happy. So if you think about the opposite, consuming is to expend something and to use it up. It is no more, it is gone. Like in this picture, the cup of coffee will be gone. It's consumed. Whatever information they are looking at on that device, it is consumed. So it's gone. So it's like two, to me, polar opposites. Yes, we do need information, but we don't want to use it all up. We want to create so that we remember it and really lock that into our brain. So one of the things that teachers ask me about, how do you get your class to know? How do you keep it from being chaos? And I would say that I am a somewhat structured person, but like structured and fun can exist at the same time. I feel like these students are having a great time in my tech lab, and they are learning and creating and making things. So for teachers, if you are here to learn how to do this, you have to think through the processes, come up with a plan and a procedure. In the comments, give me a shout out if you've ever read the book by Harry Wong. I believe it is called The First Days of School, and it is a book all about having plans and procedures in a classroom. And truly, children love structure and they crave structure. And so once you set up the structure, that continues to flow all year. If you've never read that book, you really might want to get a copy. I was so blessed. My very first principal, Mike Werner at Woodstock Elementary School, he gave all of the new teachers the year that I started this book. And I just read it from cover to cover within a few days. And I totally changed how I was going to set up my first grade classroom that first year. And I had the best compliment when I had a substitute tell me, I'm not sure if I really need to be here because your kids know what to do. I'm just kind of hanging out and they're telling me what the next thing is on the list. And it's not that you can't change that. It's just having the plan and the procedure helps the kids to know what you expect and keeps everything orderly. So highly encourage that. These are some of the thoughts that I wrote down that first time I read the book, and I still go with these same thoughts every time I'm setting up any kind of new procedure. Just what is going to be the flow, how will they self-serve? I even go as far as to write these things down, and then I also share them with my students and we discuss them. And like I kind of give them things that they can understand. I'll say, like, when you're at, any kind of fast food restaurant, whether it's Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or Burger King. How do you get your ketchup and your straws and your napkins? And they all say, oh, they're laid out and they're in little cubbies and you take what you need. And if you got an extra ketchup and you didn't need it, well, before COVID, you would just put it back. So that is something that I go over with my students, and I have all the self-serve items for them to get and for them to put them back. I only have 5 minutes between each class, and it's a different grade level. So I tell them the way that you come into the room is the way you need to leave the room. And that's going to enable us to be able to create a lot more items. So what kind of procedures do you already have in your classroom? Please put those in the comments because I want to hear from you. And what do you, if you don't have any or you're trying to add some more, what are you going to maybe add into your classroom or into just a specific time in your classroom? So we're all learning from each other. And that is also a statement I use in my classroom. Here is a video of just some kids that I found myself just honestly, I was trying to go around and help, and there was no one for me to help. They were all self-serving or helping each other. So check this out. So I literally took that video because I had told people how I ran any tech lab that I am in, and some people didn't believe me. So I just wanted some proof that it is possible with all ages. I believe that those students were in either second or third grade, and they were all making stop motion videos that day. So it's like I tell them what to do and then give the directions as quickly as possible. And then it's go time, and it's time for them to go and pick a spot, get your items, and start creating. So my number one, I'm going to give you 5 of my favorite creation tools. My first creation tool I want to share is Keynote, and Keynote is found on iPads, and there are lots of other items. PowerPoint is very similar to Keynote. You could do these things inside of Canva or Adobe Express. So these pictures or these selections are from Keynote, but again, this is possible in lots of different items. So it's just one of my favorite things. I love it because it is very simple to be one of the first things that I am starting with my littlest learners each year. And it is great because I just start with showing them shapes, and we do something really simple. And I just start teaching my students these concepts of just making some sort of picture inside of Keynote. And then we move on to how those shapes can move, and they can add some animation to that creation. And this is one that was actually made today. And oops, let me start that. Oh, it has movement, but I think that maybe the movement might have gotten lost when I uploaded this deck. But anyway, oh, there it goes. Okay, it just took a second. So he said that that was an asteroid that was falling, no, a meteor that was falling to the Earth, and that's what happened. So I loved that he shared that with me today. And then there's also drawing tools, which are very simple for younger learners. They already know how to draw, and we're just honing in on that skill and teaching them how to use these crayons that are in there and different other drawing tools. I don't limit them to a specific drawing tool. I let them have some voice and choice. And we usually learn the shapes first, and then we move on to our drawing tools, and they can add in the shapes and the drawing tools together. So it's just really great. They can actually animate those items as well. And they can also use it for, that was a book cover that they had created similar to the original book cover. And then this was another grade level that had done something that they had learned in their homeroom for history. And I always tell my students one little tip you might want to write down, a teacher tip, is that I tell them, guys, I'm not with you when you're learning these items in your homeroom. And I just want you to pretend like I am a new student. I am not here for this lesson that you've gone over. What would you think I needed to know? And then you build that in your Keynote with shapes or with the drawing tools. And if there's, some sort of statement that I need to be aware of or a fact I need to know, go ahead and teach me that. So I really talk to them a lot about showing what they know by creating it. Okay, so one of the reasons I feel like creating more than consuming is super important is for we need to think about how creating gives them the ability to use their imagination and come up with an original idea. And one of the things that we discuss in my room, we discuss all of these sticky notes, but one of the main avenues that we talk about a lot is that there is nothing that is quote unquote wrong in the tech lab. If they want their sky to be purple, they can have it purple. And so I really try to go away from other kids saying, oh, but that's not right. Because when you're being creative, there is no wrong. So I say that a lot. I'm like, guys, this is your chance to be creative. I do not want your creation to look just like your neighbor's creation. I want you to make it the way that you want it to be. And it's funny because the little learners at the beginning of the year, a lot of times they're looking around, and that is totally fine. But as I continue to say, this is where I want you to be creative, use your imagination, they stop looking around at everyone else's until they're finished. And I love that. It makes my heart, I tell them, my heart just grew 3 times today, just like in The Grinch. So, creativity is intelligence having fun. And that is one of my favorite quotes by Albert Einstein. And it is something that I look at often and that I talk to my students, really all age learners. I say this a lot. So, here is my second tool for creating, and it is Minecraft. And Minecraft, I believe, is one of the greatest gifts to teachers that they may or may not be aware of yet. So if your eyes just rolled when I said Minecraft, or you're like, oh, why does everybody love that? I'm going to tell you why they love it. And I'm going to encourage you to please try it. Even if you try it with the neighbor across the hall and y'all come up with an easy activity and you put all your kids together, so there's 2 people in there, please, please, please try it. I speak on this a lot at conferences, how to get started with Minecraft. No, you don't have to be a crafter. I was not a crafter. I still am not a crafter. I simply say to my students, we are all learning. We're all learners. Sometimes you might be the teacher because you might know more than I do about Minecraft. And I really call on them. I ask them to help each other. I really use that to my advantage. I feel like Minecraft is the greatest gift because it is a game that was made for children. It was made to keep them entertained and something that they absolutely adore. And so if we can use that in education to help them hook or engage into their learning, I just think that's a no-brainer for me. So this was somebody, I believe this was a kindergartner, and he made this just a few weeks ago for Earth Day. And this was what he felt like his picture in Minecraft of Earth Day would look like. And I had him explain it to me because I wasn't exactly sure what I was looking at first. That is the Earth, and that's the sun shining down on the Earth because it gives the Earth energy and the plants and the animals and all of us things that we need. And this was what he decided to make in Minecraft to show Earth Day and how we need to really take care of our Earth. And I loved it. So I really encourage everybody to use Minecraft, even if it's for something simple like a literacy item where students just create book characters or book covers or the book setting in Minecraft. Start simple, keep it simple. If that's all you're comfortable with, no problem. It's really, they are going to be so excited because look at that smile on his face. He is loving making his book cover in Minecraft. So, one teacher tip I have for you is have all the students understand well how to turn up and down the volume inside of Minecraft because it is a lovely melody. But when you have a lot of devices playing it at full volume, it is maybe not as lovely to the educator in the room. So I tell them that only they should be able to hear their device. Lots of people might use headphones. With me having a continuous amount of students, 850 in 1 week, that was just too much for me. So we don't use headphones. We just keep it at a volume that everyone is comfortable with. So that's my teacher tip. Another thing about Minecraft, definitely have clear building procedures so that your kids understand they're not in Minecraft just to hang out and walk around. They are in there to build, and they're in there to build something specific. Um, I also love a good app smash. And if you are interested, I have posted hundreds of app smashes. This is one of my students' favorites, and it is something we just finished actually today, creating a world in Minecraft of a story setting, and then using that to create a video in Flip to share with younger learners in our school. So the older students, third through fifth, create these, and then we use Flip to share them with the younger students. And obviously, they see them, peer to peer, but it is a great learning activity. Here is some of the app smash. I made a little mixtape on Flip. So if you are interested, there's a QR code at the top. I think Tammy might be dropping some of these links in the chat if you want to go see some more or use them as an example for your students. I'm totally fine with that. Would be an honor to enter into some of your classrooms this way. So also you can do coding in Minecraft. Definitely start this maybe as a whole group activity. We did some this year for the hour of code, and I just wanted to mention this quickly. My kids, we taught, I believe I did it with all ages, and it was Chicken Rain. And if you are interested at all to do coding in Minecraft with your students, I will say that it is a little bit, I wouldn't even say the word challenging. I'm trying to think of something a little less than challenging, but I will say it is interesting. You might want to have some older kids come in to help with your younger kids because they had a little bit of trouble keeping like together. But once they understood the process and how it worked, this is a video showing them when they first see the chicken rain. So if that doesn't warm your heart, I don't know what will. I love that video. So here is my next question. How do you think student creation versus consumption changes a student's response to a lesson? I will tell you that my students kept coming up to me in the hall. I showed my parents how to chicken rain. I showed my little baby sister how to do chicken rain. They loved this lesson. Now, yes, this was a silly lesson, but it led into further getting them excited about coding inside of Minecraft. So there was a reason for it. But yeah, throw your answer in the chat or post it on Twitter or social media. If you tag me in your answer on social media, I will absolutely get a notification and go check it out and respond to you. So, if you think about video design, and I love this quote that if you think about Steve Jobs said this, that if you think about like my generation, and I'm kind of paraphrasing his quote, but if you think about my generation, what I could engage in and I could consume and I could also author was books. And I could, read a lot of books and then I could go and author and write my own stories. Well, what our students now are really into and what is like their item for our days right now is video design. And Most kids know how to consume videos. In fact, little 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, they know how to go get on their parent's device and go to YouTube. Yes, they can consume videos, but can they create them? Are they able to give back into society what they are consuming? And I really feel like most of them cannot until they learn from someone. They do not automatically just know how to create a video. So think different and start maybe small, teaching students how to create a video to show what they know. So, creating with the Clips app, this is my third most used creating tool, and I use it with all ages. And it is a wonderful item that truly they enjoy creating with. And you just start small. And this is one that was created a few weeks ago for Earth Day. And this video was created by a second grader in Clips app. He was so impressed when he watched the third, fourth, and fifth graders' videos that he said, "Well, Miss Brooks, we've learned how to do Clips app. Can I make an Earth Day one?" And I was like, "Sure, buddy, you definitely can make one." So here is just a um, poster that I created that I have in my classroom. Again, I like to have the information readily available so there's not a super long line waiting for Miss Brooks to help them. If you are interested for this, I have it in my Wakelet, and I have a QR code down there in the corner that will also take you to an All Learners video. It's a little tutorial created in Clips app about how to use the Clips app. So yes, it's just Clips is such an easy item for our students to use. This was created just today, and I had told my students that I was doing this tonight. So she asked if I would add it to my presentation. So of course I said absolutely. So here is her Clips that was for her teacher for teacher appreciation. And once the students had created this, I made a special flip for them that they could upload it to so that their teacher would then get their video that they had created. Another thing that I want to say about creating with video is I had a parent say to me one time that she loved the fact that I had even the youngest students create videos because she said, "I will forever keep that video and I will always have my child when they were 5 years old, their voice before it changes." And I don't have children of my own, but that really touched my heart and made me want to continue each year to create videos with all ages. So stop motion is another way you could do video. Coma Coma is an amazing app for storytelling. And then also using iMovie is an amazing way to do really quick stop motion videos with your youngest learners. And then Adobe Express is my last tool that I wanted to share. Adobe Express is it is a web-based item that you can literally create all different types of media. You can do graphic design, you can do video creation, and you can do web pages. And this year I really honed in on web pages with my students, and they loved it because it's like a scrolling design and they can continue to go add into it all year long. And so I have a really quick little item that is, I want you to answer, what is your favorite creation tool? Because again, I want to learn from you. So please post that in the chat or add it to your favorite social media. And I'm going to play this just for a few seconds so you can see a few of the items that my students have made this year in Adobe Express. So if you think about creation and wanting to create more than you consume, what will you create today? And since it's kind of late in the evening, at least for me, what will you create this evening or tomorrow? You could start tomorrow, but really try to remind yourself to create at least one thing every day. It really does keep your brain active and doesn't let you just get into rote memory for everything, even if it's just something just super simple, like a little sketch on a sticky note or just drawing just any little thing while you eat lunch. So just try to create to keep your brain actively using your brain and having it fire at its full capacity. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you want to get in touch with me, I would love to connect and continue this conversation. Once I am friends with you, you will forever be in my 4EDU family. So please reach out. Let me know what spoke to you. That is kind of my instant feedback on social media so that I will know what to keep in my presentations and what to maybe change up next time. But I am so delighted. Thank you, Tammy. I think you're going to let me know if there's any questions.
Oh, there's a lot of talk in the channels. I mean, and we've got two channels going, one in Facebook, one in YouTube. Kim in Facebook was talking about how passive students are not as engaged in learning. And so some of the things that you're describing here would really draw some of them in. Have you found anything that really speaks to students who are a little more passive in class?
Minecraft.
Yeah.
I can literally get any student. I mean, I could play a game show. Bring me a student. I'll get them to make something. I can get them to make something in Minecraft. My most passive student will create, and not just fun items. Usually they have to create something educational based first before they can go and create their own item. So
Great answer. Of course, we've got Ann Cosma is also here on YouTube, and I love when you were showing your students, and Ann says his smile shows everything. When you see a smile like that, you know they're engaged, you know they're being creative and having a great time, and they're learning to love learning.
Absolutely, thank you.
And
I agree.
And Shannon Davenport says great management tips. She loves that going on, and of course, Sandy Adams mentioned that our students' creativity is sometimes stifled, and anything
Yes.
we can do to support that. As you mentioned, Albert Einstein himself, right? Creativity and imagination is more important than even knowledge. Sir
Right.
Ken Robinson, right? So
Yes,
this has just been
absolutely.
absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. And everybody, I've put both in the Facebook and the YouTube feeds her KB link to the tree link. I can say it.
Mhm.
And everything's here on screen. Please follow Kristen. She's absolutely, oh, thank you, Mike. She's absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I have to look, you're above me. Hi. I have to thank you. And so, oh, thank you. You were so sweet. Gosh. And I'm just thrilled to have you on the show. Thank you. Thank you for your time, your talent. And everyone, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. Those of you watching us recorded, thank you for watching us on a recording. And this is our last live from NCCE for this school year. But hey, we're still available. If you go to ncce.link/live, you can watch everything all over again, not just from this year, but from years past as well. And hopefully we'll be coming back to you next school year with some great, more great presenters. So everyone, have a great rest of your school year. Be healthy, be happy, and thank you for being here. And thank you, Kristen.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be on the show and just to represent NCCE and just to be a part of this. Such an honor, like super excited to be here.
Thanks. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.